Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside Crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana.
This is Elsie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
Ringside Ring!
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adler.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl Charisma.
Papa Dink, Brendan Dinker.
This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Tasman inside.
You are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm your host, Joe the Panther, the Bird, and now from the top of Metal Mountain, all the way down to all 50 states in the globe, it's a happy himself, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? Good afternoon, Joe. Have a good afternoon, man.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's not the morning. It's the afternoon. But
Afternoon, got my kitty
you
cup.
got your afternoon coffee going on. I see that, right?
Got my kitty cup. In my kitty cup. Hey, kitty cup. Okay, Geekins. Ready to load the jet and put the bags in?
Yeah, because we're going to Scotland today, Joe.
Scotland.
So let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to our guest, Edith Summer.
Hi guys, how are you?
How's it going?
Good. Welcome. And I might add a fellow Ghostbusters fan. Welcome, fellow Ghosthead.
Welcome back.
Yes. So if our fans are not familiar with you, and why would they not be? Introduce yourself.
Hi guys, my name's Edith Summer. I'm a female referee here in Dundee, Scotland, in the UK, and I'm the only female referee in Scotland.
Wow.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So hey, what's going on? One of our people in the chat just said, Nicole.
Oh, that's my sister. Hello, Nicola.
Hey,
Make sure
welcome.
you give the follow button, by the way.
Don't forget the follow button.
To see the dancing cat.
So you go to a wrestling school. You want to talk about that?
Yes, so way back in 2014, I started, I think it was about January, I went to Scottish Wrestling Entertainment school. At that point, they'd had no female wrestlers, and I happened to be the only female in the class, which is kind of funny, actually. But I got a lot of training. My mentors were Jay the Jackal, I had Ian Ambrose, I had David Lowe, that's the owner of SWE, Scottish Wrestling Entertainment. So it was like 5 nights a week, training was, and it was for a good 3 hours every night. And you got different teachers. You know, you got the psychology 101 of wrestling. You got the basics of how to do the holds. I enjoyed that, but I enjoy doing the referee side. So I did learn a bit about the referee side on that. Is it tough going? Yes, it really is. Out the class that was there, I'm the only person that's still there from the original class that had started in 2014. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you watch them fall one by one. You're like, where's this person? And where's this person?
Yeah. I mean, some people were going to training, others didn't like certain trainers, their methods. I mean, at the end of the day, if it was going to be easy, everybody would do it. Do you know what I mean? Everybody would do it. It's not the easiest of sports, especially being a woman. But I stuck at it because I absolutely love wrestling. I've loved wrestling since I was 13 years old. It's all I ever wanted to do, really. My dad, the realist that he is, he's like, get your head out the cloud. You know, it's never going to happen. And then when I came to him, I went, well, actually, Dad, I'm going to go to wrestling school now, and I'm actually going to train to be a wrestler. And he's like, why? And I'm just sitting there going, okay, well, here's the reasons why, because I love it and because I want to do it. So my dad wasn't really accepting it at the time, but now he's like, oh, you've grown into it, you know, you really, really enjoy it, you know what I mean? You could see it, you know, he watches the videos, my sister tells me he watches the videos and whatnot. So, yeah, but training was hard. But, you know, if you stick at it, you know what I mean, you learn a lot about the wrestling, you know what I mean? My dad used to always sit there and go, oh, but they're not hitting each other. Yeah, they do. You know what I mean? They do. When we're hitting each other, we do hit each other. Yes, I do come away with bruises. Yes, I've come away with cuts and whatnot. But that's the business. I know what I'm doing when I'm in there because I trust the people that I'm training with or have been trained with.
Yeah, so yeah, you're basically like my job. Basically, I started 7 years ago, and I go and look around my shoulder and I go, where did everybody that started with me? Where'd they all go?
Mm-hmm.
They're all
because
gone.
I was a woman. Some of them were a bit like, oh, don't want to hurt you, and I'm like, for God's sake, you know, hit me, just hit me. And they're like, oh, and they'd give you a wee tap, and it's like, no, please stop that. Give me a proper boom. Eventually, they did because it was like, well, you know, you're going to be treated like one of the guys. And it was the first thing that my boss said to me when I walked through the door. He says, just because you're a girl, you're not getting special treatment. And I turned around and said to him, well, I don't expect special treatment. You know, I want to be treated exactly the same way as the guys. And I have, to be fair, I've been treated the same as the guys. You know, I'll joke with the guys in the locker room. You know, we all have a laugh and a joke about certain things, and we just have a really good time. You know what I mean? It's a fun place to be. I mean, it's what I've always wanted to do. So, yeah.
That's crazy that you're working with the guys and everything, and you're tough. So you know.
Well, tell me after I've gone out the ring, because there's been a few times when I've actually been hurt. I mean, the last time I got a spear, and it's a very spectacular spear I might add. And I went back to the guys. I'm like, oh, I'm sore. And they're like, Edith, you're supposed to be sore on both sides, not just the one. And I'm like, really? Okay. So a couple of days, obviously, you know, normal work. I'm like, guys, could you help me pick up this box? Because it's kind of really sore to bend down. But it is what it is. I mean, you know, I trust the guys implicitly, you know, when I'm in the ring. You know, they'll tell me what's going on. I'll do whatever I need to do to make it look perfect. And yeah, you know, it's all about trust. And you have to have trust when you're in the ring. You know, it's not, we're telling a story at the end of the day, but not only that, we want the fans to believe what's happening. So,
and you want it to look good as well. So I mean, like you want to sell it like it's like legit, because if you don't sell it legit, people are going to start noticing and be like, that's fake. You know?
It's like, oh, right, that doesn't look right. No, I don't think I believe. I mean, I've been in some scenarios when I first started. I had a sort of rivalry with my boss. And we had a chap called the very good Mr. UNG Mackey, and he was getting picked on. And of course, I hate people getting picked on. So I went in, I was like, no, you're not doing this. Next thing you know, I'm a ref for my boss and obviously the guy that he's facing. And of course, he punts me down, and everybody in the audience couldn't believe that a man's just hit a ref. But not only that, it's a female ref. So yeah, I mean, I've had some stories where people have been shocked. I've been fired. What else? Oh, I've had a baseball to the stomach, sharpshooter, splash. I've had everything done. It's great. I've actually got a wee bucket list that I'm going through. I'm like, right, if that's not been done, can I get that next?
Have you ever been put through a table or?
No, that's on the list. I'm still waiting for that to happen. I've had a briefcase to the head. That's fair enough. That exactly wasn't on the list, but I got it. I'm looking for the chair, the tables. Yeah, it's on the list. I've got a bucket list.
I could play a spot right now. I could say, all right, the guy's going to go for a spear, right? And he misses, spears you through the table by accident.
Mm-hmm. And I would make that look 110%. I would make that.
The guy would be like, no, right? Or
guys probably going, oh my God, Esther's sitting there going, that's me, yay. So yeah.
You like get the notepad.
I did it. I got through the table.
You're on the table. You grab the notepad out of your referee shirt and check.
Like, check. That's that done. Put that to the pile.
Then you're like, oh, crunched.
Steel chair to the face. Neil McMalone said.
Oh well, yeah. Still waiting for that. Yeah. Hi, Neil. Neil's one of my fans. So hey. But yeah, there's a bucket list. If you don't have a bucket list in wrestling, what are you doing in wrestling? Come on. Yeah. No, there has to be a bucket list.
So is there any particular type of match you would like to referee that you haven't done yet?
Oh, that's a good one. Steel cage. I've not done a steel cage. I would like to do a steel cage. For the experience, because that would be good. We do hardcore matches, so I've done a few hardcore matches. But no, steel cage would probably do. Maybe a ladders match as well, because I've never done that yet. I've had the tag matches, I've had singles matches, future division, I've had heavyweight. Yeah, I think definitely cage, because that would because obviously you're enclosed with the guys. I think that would be a great experience. So yeah, cage match, I would think.
Yeah. Also, if you ever got picked up signed by WWE, you could always referee an elimination chamber match, which would be awesome.
Well, that'd be cool. Hey, WWE, if you're looking for a female referee, hello in Scotland.
I don't think they have
but no, I would love
yet.
to do that. I definitely would love to do a cage match, because I've not done that. Recently, I did a British style rules match at Renegade Wrestling Dojo. That was their second show, but that was my first appearance with them. It was pretty good. I'd never done one before, so I can kind of cross that one off my list. I'd like to have more of those, just so I've got more experience. But again, you're always, learning, when you're in the wrestling business. As a referee, it doesn't stop because you're a referee. You're always learning. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter whether it's a small thing or a big thing. You're always learning. So
yeah,
and I enjoy it. So
so if you could referee any match for anybody, who would you referee a match against? It's like a forbidden door match.
Oh, now is this past or present, or can I use past or present?
Forbidden door.
Either one, past or present. You can portal style.
If it was male, I would definitely say Bret Hart versus Drew McIntyre.
Oh man,
I would love to see that match. Now, if it was female, there's a lot of people I would love to choose from. I would definitely say AJ Lee, possibly against Britt Baker.
Ooh.
Oh man, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
I would love to see that match, because I loved AJ Lee's style when she was in the WWE. And of course, Britt Baker in AEW just now, she's on fire just now. You know what I mean? She's really doing so well, along with Thunder Rosa and a few other ones there, Toni Storm. But yeah, I think that would be my two dream matches, male and female.
She doesn't. I was just gonna say she doesn't even need the belt. That's how well she's doing. People just want to face her.
Yeah, she's got people lining up, knocking on her door, going, "Please, let me wrestle you." You know what I mean? I think it's great. You know what I mean? She's showing something different, and that's again what I like about AEW. They're showing that they can obviously, yes, they do have ex-WWE stars. Let's no, sugarcoat it here. They do have ex-WWE superstars, but their own homegrown talent is absolutely amazing. Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, the Bucks, Kenny Omega, Moxley. I could go on and on and on, and you'd be like, time. You know what I mean? But I absolutely adore. Honestly, even the women's wrestling, I absolutely adore the fact that they're bringing different people in, and I hope, in many ways, that they open the forbidden door for the women as well, not just the males.
Oh man, like the forbidden door to stardom. That would be absolutely amazing. I would love to see.
Do you think Tony Khan will ever take a trip across the pond and go to like Scotland and in England and stuff like that?
I would love to see that happening. Do you know what I mean? Because, we are seeing more women now coming into the wrestling. You look at the 80s, start of the 80s, late 80s, there wasn't many women that were in wrestling. And if they were mostly eye candy or valets or managers. Now, don't get me wrong, I watched it when I was growing up. I loved it. The only thing I bloody hated was when they started getting the women to wrestle, it was either mud wrestling, bras and panties matches. I absolutely bloody hate them. Even now, people will go up to me and go, "Hey, Edith, your Empress division. Oh, right, you're going to..." No. The minute they mentioned the bra and panties, I actually chewed a boy off for about that. He said to me, "Oh, are you going to do a bras and panties match?" And he sort of went, I'm joking. And I went, "No, didn't joke about that." I hate things like that. Now women are getting to be respected more in the wrestling business. It's been a slow process, very slow process, but the women are showing they can do exactly what the guys can do and maybe even do it a bit better. And, again, I could harp on about this all night. You know what I mean? I'm very passionate about women in wrestling. We've always been treated like eye candy, especially in the 80s. You didn't see many women wrestlers. And then you had, sort of Luna Vachon, Sunny, Chyna, especially Chyna. She was the one that revolutionized the women. You know what I mean? Because up until Chyna came in, there hadn't been any women that were wrestling or showing the men that, yes, we could do that. And then suddenly, boom, Chyna's on the scene. She's making waves. And then all of a sudden, all these other girls like Lita Stratus come in. And then again, it sort of went back to the eye candy. But now we're getting to the stage where we're not eye candy. We're now actually evolving and we're actually doing more.
Yep.
Exactly.
Like, it was also a few wrestlers that you forgot to mention from the 80s. Rock and Robin, the Bombshells. Bombshell. I think
Sensational Sherry.
Yep. I think the Bombshells were I think I could be wrong. I'm always Mr. Old School. But I remember it was like an Asian tag team that was managed by Jimmy Hart. I think it was the Bombshell Bomb Angels.
Could
Bombshell
be.
Angels? Was that
I started watching wrestling in 1992.
Oh.
That's when my love affair actually started, with the wrestling. We got what was called Telewest at the time. It was a cable channels. And my dad accidentally put it on Sky One. And there's this man in pink tights, hot pink tights, long hair, gorgeous flowing hair, and I fell in love. And it was actually Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect for the Intercontinental Championship, and I was hooked right from that start. But it wasn't until sort of the later sort of 90s you were starting to see the women come in. I mean, you had Alundra Blaze, you had Bull Nakano, but again, they were sort of trying to do it as eye candy as well, and it slightly annoyed me. Then when China came in, that's when it all changed. The women weren't actually being treated like eye candy. They were treated more like, oh, right, we can use them as wrestlers. Perfect. And I've got to say, I actually spent some time with China because she actually came across to Scottish Wrestling Entertainment for our Hell for Lycra. We had Jazzy Gabert, the alpha female, versus Nikki Storm, but you'll know her as Nikki Ash from the WWE.
Yep.
And Nikki and I had a bit of a storyline going where she was picking on me. But Jazzy obviously got the match because I was supposed to be getting that match. Never happened. But China had come in that day. And I think we did a sign-in with her in Aberdeen, and I spent the whole day with her. And I must admit, I was very nervous, really nervous, because it was like, holy, it's China, the lady I grew up watching.
You can curse here if you wanted to.
Yeah. Trying not to, because in case kiddies are watching.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah, I mean, I spent a whole day with her. We travelled in a car to Aberdeen. My boss was in front of the car along with her manager, and we just gasped about everything, how she got into wrestling, what books she read. She loved the fact that she was teaching Chinese to speak English, and she just she loved the quality time that she had with them. But I remember sitting there saying to me, I'd like to be remembered for my wrestling, not for the other stuff that I did. Could totally understand that, but before we'd gotten into the car, she's like, "Oh, I like your eyes. Oh, your eyes are beautiful." I was bloody terrified because I thought, here's this lady I've read so much about, and do you know what? Nothing like what people have said about her. This lady was so humble, so childlike, just willing to speak to you, as a normal human being, and it was lovely to spend time with her. And then when we got to our Hell for Lycra, it's Hell for Lycra is like a WrestleMania, like our big WrestleMania here in Scotland, and before we went out, and she's like, let's show the boys we can do this a lot better than them. And you know what? To say that, I was immensely proud that night to be in the ring with all females that night, to have that moment with China in that ring, it was very special to me. I've spent a lot of time with guys in the ring and other ladies, but to have China there, and for her to say, age is just a thing. It's in your head. You don't have to worry about that. She took the time to sit me down, explain the do's and don'ts. She was just lovely. Do you know what I mean? She really was lovely. And, it's such a shame that she doesn't get honoured in the WWE. She should get honoured for herself, not just because she was in the Click or, G Generation X. Yep. I strongly feel that she should be in the Hall of Fame, mainly on her merits, because without her, there would never have been a women's division. And I don't care what the Bellas say, they did not revolutionise anything. It was China that started the trend before they did.
Exactly. I'm 100% agree with you. China.
I get freaked out anytime I hear even the Bellas talk. I'm like, someone turn that microphone off, please.
It's like I'm so disappointed to see I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, to see the Bellas get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame before China, and that just breaks me.
It breaks your heart because this lady did so much for this company, and sorry kiddies if you're listening, but she got shot upon from a big bloody height. Do you know what I mean? And I don't care the personal reasons for it. Take the personal out. End of the day, this woman, body, blood, sweat, tears, everything, did what she did to get that company where it was and gets no thanks for it. Oh, she gets thanks, but she gets thanks with the guys, not on her own. To me, that's disrespectful. Do you know what I mean? As a woman in the industry, you know, hopefully one day I would like to be in a Hall of Fame for something. Who knows? Maybe for my refereeing, maybe for other stuff. I don't know.
You will be.
But I would like to think, you know, women should be honoured for what they do in the wrestling, not because they're you know, booties and their chests. You know what I mean? It just infuriates me. You know, if you got personal stuff, get rid of it. The woman deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. End of. Sorry, rant over.
Exactly. It's the WWE Hall of Fame. It's not the Vince McMahon. It's not the Triple H Hall of Fame. It's not the Stephanie McMahon Hall of Fame. It's the WWE Hall of Fame. She was a huge part of the WWE, and you can't erase that because of their politics. You know what I mean? She was still a part of it. You know what I mean?
I mean, you wouldn't have the Charlotte Flairs, you wouldn't have the flipping Baileys, the Becky Lynches. Do you know what I mean? It does. It infuriates me. This woman has paid her dues and more. Yes, she made a mistake in her personal life, but here's the key thing: it was personal, not what she did in the wrestling. She did everything she did in the wrestling, and she still gets shot upon. You know, to me, I just think it's totally wrong. She should be, you know, in her own right, put in the Hall of Fame, regardless of what people think of her or thought of her. She deserves to have her place.
That would have been like one of my dream interviews if she did sadly pass away. I would have loved to have China come on the podcast so she could just talk about like her stories and experience being a woman in that era where all men are the faces of everything and stuff like. I would have loved to hear like her stories and her take on everything. It'd be hard to talk about personal stuff with her and trips, but I would love to hear like her sides of the stories with all the stuff that said about her and like, you know what I mean, right, Geek? Wouldn't you
exactly. Because she was always in the ring with men all the time. So she was a pioneer, is what I'm trying to say. A pioneer.
She was.
Yeah.
You know, she put the salt and the pepper into the mix. You know what I mean? She didn't just wrestle women; it was men as well. You know what I mean? And you know, for a woman to be doing that at that time, it was frowned upon. You know, why is a woman in a mixed gender match? Why is this? You know what I mean? But this is it. Wrestling is full of diversity and controversy. Do you know what I mean? That's what gets you your tickets. You know, what's good for one thing might not be for the next. But at the time, you know, you had your PG era, and then you went into obviously the other era that we had. You know, where you had Stone Cold Steve Austin and, you know, all the badass stuff going in, which was great. But China was there as well, and she still put her stamp on that.
Do you think if it wasn't for China, do you think we would never got intergender matches on the indies? Or
I don't think we would have done. I think it would have been the same straight-laced stuff, men versus men, women versus women. Yes, you're still going to get controversy. Some people don't like mixed matches. But you know what? If it's tried and tested and it works, go for it. You know what I mean? I definitely think it works. I've been in an intergender match myself. But 5 years ago, I ended up in a main event match at Caird Hall here in Dundee. I had a match with Misdemeanor, Gru, and it was myself and my boss, Braveheart. And, you know, there was a lot of people moaning about it and didn't like it. But, you know, we were the main event. And to be fair, I was actually crapping myself. You know what I mean? Literally, I'm like, okay, right, I'm going to wait in the next couple of minutes. Oh, okay. And I was really nervous, right? At this point, I'm like, oh God, I don't think I could do this. I'm going to be sick. And you wouldn't have thought when you see that match that, you know, I'm nervous at all. You know, you wouldn't think that I'm like, I'm about, but no, I did it. My dad was there, my mum was there, my brother was there, my sister was there, and I had the most amazing match ever, you know, and I turned heel that night as well, which was quite funny. You literally could hear a pin drop, me turning heel, and it was like, okay. Got up the stairs and the boys are like, shame, shame. I'm like, what? I'm not doing nothing. So we did the video afterwards, and obviously I've got a bottle of wine and I'm down in it. My mum's like, you're not my daughter anymore. I can't believe that you did that to me. I'm just like, Okay.
It's wrestling, Mom. That's what I would have told her.
Exactly. It's like, it's wrestling. Come on. I'm not going to exactly nut somebody in the street because I'd obviously get jailed. I'd get put to prison. But my mum truly believed this storyline. So my work was done.
It worked.
It worked.
Right? You did your job. You could punch out for the day and just go home early. You did your job.
Exactly.
Right?
Pretty much.
Exactly. You know what I've never seen before?
Sorry?
I've never seen before? I've never seen a referee, a female Nick Patrick.
Right, okay. Well, I definitely would say, we have a thing called Monday Night Brawl on YouTube, Scottish Wrestling Entertainment. You might want to check that out because I'm on a few of them, and I don't take no shit, from anybody. So I'm quite tough when I'm in that ring. Me outside the ring, I'm very sort of, hey, how you doing? But yeah, me the ref, no. I'm very sassy when I want to be. The guys will tell you that, I do. I'm very sort of right in there. But I enjoy it. I love it. I mean, it's the best feeling in the world. I used to say the best thing in the world was being front row at a wrestling show. Nah. The best thing is being in the middle of it, in the thick of it. There's nothing like it. You know what I mean? There really, really isn't. I really enjoy being a ref because, don't get me wrong, I've trained to be a wrestler. I can't say I'm the best wrestler, and I'm sure many would agree with me on that. But as a referee, I absolutely love it. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing like it. There's one guy in our company, John Alpha. He deliberately tries to get me to smile at him when he's in the ring, and I'm determined I'm not going to do it. He keeps saying to me, I'm going to break you. I'm going to get you to smile at me. And it's like, no, it's not happening.
Yeah. So have you ever thought of coming to America to referee or wrestle?
I would love to go to America and see how the refs out there work. And again, MD that's got a wrestling company looking for a female referee. Hello, I'm here. Just contact me. But seriously though, yes, I would love to work internationally. I would love to work for the United States. I would love to come to America to referee. It would be a dream of mine to do that. So anything's possible. We're just working towards our goal, and if people notice us, that's great. I'm all for working for other companies and making sure that they have something there as a female, because again, America doesn't have a lot of female female referees. There's only the odd couple that I've noticed either online, or WWE itself only has a handful, and even then they don't seem to be treating them right. They seem to be, look at the Edge one. He specifically asked for that female referee, and credit to that referee. I can't remember her name, of course, but she went and did the storyline, and she thanked Edge for allowing her to contain the storyline at WrestleMania. But yeah, I would love to work for you guys over there, because I think it would be a great tale of the tape to see what I could offer. And as I say, I just love wrestling. I love refereeing. I love meeting new people. And yeah, it's it's the best thing in the world.
Definitely. So, where are some places you would love to travel to that you've not traveled to yet?
I would love to go to Canada. I would love to go to Canada. New Zealand. I would like to go to New Zealand. Japan. I would like to go to Japan as well. I've been to Orlando, Florida a few times. Absolutely amazing, I've got to say. Been to the parks and whatnot. But again, I would like to go to Orlando, Florida as well, because I know that there's the wrestling scene out there as well. But I'm not sure about licenses or whatnot. I think you have to have a license for some of these places, whereas in the UK, you don't have to have a license to referee.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I mean, I would like to be more travelled and see more of the world and more wrestling, and see how other people enjoy it and do it. So
please come to US. Please come to US.
I would love to come to the US. Trust me, I would love to come to the US. So if any promoters are watching,
please, yeah.
So yeah,
book Edith right now.
Make a clip.
Yes, exactly. Book Edith. Book me, please. Thank you.
Edith. Come on, guys. Book her. Book this lady right here, this awesome referee friend we have right now, fellow Ghost Head. Ghostbuster fans, you watching this clip? Follow our friend right here. She's part of the community. Treat her, respect her. She's fam.
Love Ghostbusters.
Joe, did
Absolutely
you
love
just make up a word?
Ghostbusters.
Sorry.
What's that?
I was just gonna say, did Joe just make up a word? He calls Fram.
Fram. Yeah, I do that all the time. I'm like the
He
drunk uncle.
He makes up words. Joe makes up words.
I'm like the drunk uncle that's like, I think though I had a full conversation with somebody and then I walk away and they go, what the hell did he just say? Was he?
What reward?
It's like I'm the living embodiment of Slimer. I just ate a whole piece of chicken and I'm talking to the person and I walk away and they're like, was he eating this?
Well, Slimer is one of my favourite characters, along with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So, yeah, good choices.
Well, I have tattoo of Slimer on my thigh with the proton pack on, with hot dogs hanging.
Oh wow!
Yes,
cool.
I can't really show it because the camera won't catch it.
All right, okay. Well, I can see something. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, he's originally it was supposed to be on my ankle, but I'm like, you can't put Slimer on an ankle. It looks like a boogie. So I have to, like, it goes from the base of my thigh all the way up to toward my hip.
Well, I don't have any tattoos. I keep saying that I'm going to do it, but I did. So I know.
and they always have to say that. They always say hi to us. I'm like, you done say hi to the guests? That's not nice.
That is not nice.
It's okay. I'll say hello to you anyway. Hello.
Being a wrestler and a ref, I get that Edith is talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So he knows what I'm talking about. It'd be hard business to get into.
There's quite a few American-based all-female promotions out here. There's CCW that's in Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
There's Liberty Pro Women's Wrestling that's like in Tennessee.
Mission Pro.
Right.
Mission Pro, that's one Thunder Rosa owns. Partially owns it?
I think she partially owns it with her husband.
There's one in Vegas which Jenny Santana, Tito Santana's daughter, is the co-owner for.
Right, okay.
UWW, that's the name of the promotion. You can find them on everything. The UWW. They just started.
So we got.
Wait.
Yeah. What's up?
They just started they just had they're
last
gonna have
month.
their
I think
show.
last month they started. I think.
Yeah, last month. They're new. They're friends. They haven't even got the training wheels off their bike yet. That's how new they are.
I think Shimmer's also another one as well. I think, isn't it, in America?
Shimmer, yes.
Shimmer.
Yeah.
Shine. Oh, that's in Japan.
No, Shine's here.
I thought it was in Japan.
No, Shine's here. Shine.
It's awesome to know that there's actual women's wrestling that's out there that people are like, I'm gonna try this. You know what I mean? There's women that want to go and do
There's opportunities.
It's a godsend, really, because like it says to you earlier on, I mean, going back to the 80s, 90s, I mean, there wasn't many women wrestlers. And again, we're going back to the mud wrestling and the whatnot, but, you know, women are coming into their own, you know what I mean? But how many times have we had to fight to get on a card? You know what I mean? It's 10 times harder for a woman to get on a card. You're a male, it's easy. Oh, you've got a spot. You know what I mean? It's not so easy for a woman to, you know, just walk into the business and go, right, I've got my spot. You literally have to fight for it. You know, and I've got an Empress division here in Scottish Wrestling Entertainment. We're going to have a Queen of the Ring tournament very shortly, starting next month. And I'm very excited about that because, you know, I've been fighting for that for quite a long time as well. Aisha Raymond, she's our Empress Division champion. She's actually in Japan just now. She's defending that championship just now. And then when she comes back, she'll have her number one contender from the Queen of the Ring to go against her for that belt. But, you know, it's amazing how many women I speak to and they go, you know what, you're right. You know, we do have to fight 10 times harder to get to where we are. You know, it's very difficult because, you know, they see us sometimes as weak and we're not. You know, I can take a flipping backslide or whatever it is that they're asking me to do and we think twice about it. You know what I mean? They're the first people that'll go, hey Edith, you want it? Yep. But I've not told you what I'm about today. That's fine. Yep. I could be selling my soul to the devil and I've just said yeah. And they're like, oh right, okay. But it's because I have a love for the wrestling. You know what I mean? I absolutely love putting myself on the line because at the end of the day, you know, not many people will do that. You know, and I'm just like, hey, over here, I'm quite happy to do it. You know what I mean? So yeah, as women, we do have to fight 10 times harder, and it just annoys me. You know what I mean? We're just as good as the guys. We can show you what we've got. In fact, we've done it before. You know, again, I'm going to use Charlotte Flair. I'm going to use Natalia Hart. I'm going to use Natalia Hart because Natalia is one of these people, because of her name, she has been rejected from places because of her name. Now, she's actually shown, okay, my name's a Hart, but that means nothing. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. She does it, she proves her point and goes, thank you, goodbye. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Natalia Hart is one of the most underrated wrestlers. Right
Underused.
Well, she definitely is. She really is. I mean, they don't utilize her enough. I mean, the knowledge that that lady has, do you know what I mean, is unbelievable. I mean, come on. Her uncle is Bret the Hitman Hart. Hello?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The Hart family are rich in wrestling history, and yet they don't utilize her. Why? I could name you women that they never utilize. I can tell you women in here in the Scottish scene that are going to be big. You know what I mean? That seem to be low on the card. I mean, I'm going to tell you, there's the undeniable Ashley Vega. She's quite hot in the scene, and honestly, you need to interview her. I will also say Emily Hayden. She is absolutely amazing. I absolutely adore that lady. You know, she's got a wee podcast herself, and she's got a wee sort of webisode called Life's a Beach. Somebody needs to book a Coachella, by the way. You know, she's making these videos, and it's about, you know, what's happening on the wrestling scene, what's going on in her life. And, you know, she jokes about going on to Eurovision, and she's actually got a video, a song called Book a Beach, and it's for the Eurovision. And honestly, you need to see it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of women on the wrestling scene. There's London Lovelust. There's Iona Sky. There's Maven and Raven Struthers. There's Kat Zabella. There's Jade Black. You know, all these people are coming up. You know, you've got Brody Adler, which you've had on your show.
Yeah,
you know,
Brody's awesome.
Ruby Roberts. You know, all these
yeah,
girls are coming up. You know, so again, I mean, all these women are coming up into the scene. You know, there's so many that really, you know, if you blink, they're going to pass you because they're that good. Do you know what I mean? They're going to be on the next level. They're all going to be on the next level. You know, Ronnie Knox, Kirsty Love, you know, they're all on the next level. And, you know, I'm maybe just a small wheel in that cog when they go to wherever they're going. But I'd like to think that wherever they've got going, they'll remember me in a small place. Go, oh, I remember Edith. Yeah, she definitely me. But, you know, it's even the guys. I mean, I've you know, refed quite a lot of great guys. You know, we've got KJ Nitro. We have Tomoko. You know, we've got, you know, Scotty Ratio, Alphas, you know, Craig Stevens, John Alpha. You know, I could give you a list. You'd be sitting there going, time, Edith, time. But there's so much talent on the Scottish scene, not even on the Scottish scene. You know what I mean? Everywhere. You just have to go and look for it and find it.
Like us.
That's the thing about wrestling right now today. It's like, if you hate like WWE, you hate AEW. There's so much different wrestling today that you could go on the internet and look and say, I'm going to watch this show. I'm going to watch this show. I'm going to watch this show, this match, this match, this match.
That's
so many
that's
options.
what I always tell Geek, Edith. I'm like we love independent wrestling so much that me and Geek decided to ship off. Not just we love our American independent wrestling. Don't get me wrong, but we liked to ship off. We set off on a mission to find any and all people from all over the world to talk to. We may not know them, but after the podcast, this dude and this dude will be sitting on YouTube going, holy crap, I just found like 15 matches of this person we talked to and I don't even know. And I watched them. Because we got a girl from South Africa, a female wrestler from South Africa, right, Geek? From CPW South Africa. I found the owner sent me one match. I brought it to my computer. I watched about 6 or 7 matches of her. And I'm like, wow, I'm hooked. And then they got promotions from Canada, CPW from Canada. And I'm like, I get nonstop. I get asked to watch this match on YouTube, this match, that match. And I'm just like, I'm glad I don't.
There's a lot of wrestling out there. You've just got to want to you know, sit down, have a couple of hours, 3 hours, and check them out. You know, there are some amazing talents out there, and I kind of sing talents enough on the Scottish scene. You know what I mean? Glasgow scene. You know, there is a lot of potential. You know, especially with the women. As I said, I've worked with the majority of these women, and I could tell you now, they're going to all be the next best thing. They really are. They're going to be the big thing. Emily Hayden especially, and Ruby Roberts. And if you haven't got Ruby Roberts, I highly recommend you get her on your show.
We had Ruby on our podcast before.
She loves us.
She's awesome. She wants to come back.
We're trying to fit a date because next month would be perfect for her.
But yeah, as I say, wrestling's weird, wonderful, wacky, and wonderful. It is what it is. It's what you make it. I just love it. If I could do it every day, on there every hour, I would. Do you know what I mean? Unfortunately, I can't because I've got the day job. But luckily, my day job's very understanding when I say, "Look, I've got a wrestling gig. Can I get it off?" And they're like, "Yeah, okay, good enough."
Jade, right? Ada Jade, she's from Scotland. Ada Jade, she's got blonde hair. Is that the one?
Jade's. Are we on about Jade Black?
Yeah, no, I can't.
Emily
I'll let
Hayden?
down the show. I'll show you.
Emily Hayden?
Emily Hayden, no, she's not blonde. You're on about Rosie Knight, but again, that's another one that's that's going to be big on the scene. Emily Hayden is brunette hair, but yeah, she's amazing. Honestly, I've worked with her. She's absolutely amazing. I can't speak highly enough about Emily because the blonde one that you're talking about is Rosie Knight, and again, she's really good as well.
I have the girl's Instagram up. When we're done with the show, I'll show you who it is. She sent us clips from a match she had against the Lone Wolf in Scotland, and I had to place it together. And the match was so crazy hardcore that I even showed my dad. He's a son of a wrestler, and he was like, "Oh wow, whoa!" The spot she did, I posted it on the Instagram page, and I was just like, "Well," my mom's like, "Well, I know wrestling's fake, but wow." Crazy.
Joe, don't break the kayfabe. Come on,
I know.
keep the kayfabe alive. It's not fake.
I have to show you her page later. So,
right, okay.
I don't want to do it now. I don't want to put her page like this is her. That's not nice. Anything else, Geekins?
No, yeah, I was going to say we have a big thing we didn't talk about, the whole Vince McMahon thing that was.
Yeah. So,
God, yeah. Come on, all that money for Hush Hush. I hope she was worth it.
Yeah,
I really hope she was worth it, whoever it was. Because now fans are going to be like, right, okay, they've already taken away half their shares. Fans who've obviously invested in the company have obviously, taken their money away and thought, no, we're going to invest it in someplace else. Again, it's his business what he does, but you're involving other folk. John Laurinaitis, Kevin Dunn. These were wrestlers, these were bookers. Somebody should have been saying, "Oh, wait a minute, no, I'm not going to get involved in this because if it comes back, it's going to bite me in the ass." Guess what? I just bite you in the ass.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Isn't Bruce Pritchard involved in it too?
I think so, yeah. Some big names were involved in this, and you're thinking to yourself, look at the later picture, right? The later picture is this. If it's going to bite you in the ass, don't do it. And basically, it's bit them in the ass. So now all these stories are coming out about Vince staying with his missus, that everybody in Tom, Dick and Harry needs to know, but now we're all getting to know. And it's like, really, we didn't need to know. But because somebody decided to leak it, that'll be somebody within the company, leak it so that they look good. Now we've got Stephanie McMahon back in the fold. Poor woman's dealing with her husband, had a heart bypass and all the rest of it, trying to deal with her kids. But again, they were also doing that to her as well, trying to make her look bad. So if it was me, I'd be going for the people that are making me look bad and going, right, why you, bye-bye, why you, bye-bye, see you later. Do you know what I mean? If you're not 210% in this, because you love the wrestling, why are you here? Money's not everything at the end of the day, That's the way I feel about it. I don't think everybody needs to know your business, your personal business, but somebody in that company's leaked it to make sure that they all looked bad.
Do you think Nick Khan was involved in the whole thing, or he was?
Well, they're insinuating they are insinuating that Nick Khan sort of squeezed his way in there. But listen, the man's a multi-billionaire. He's not wanting to deal with all that nonsense. His son Tony Khan. Look at AEW. Again, the women. Holy cow! The women. They're really, really good. Again, Britt Baker. Huge fan of Britt Baker. Love Britt Baker. Thunder Rosa as well. worked with her as well when she came through Scotland. You know, they have amazing talent. Yes, some of them are ex-WWE, but the homegrown talent, as I've already said to you, is amazing. You know what I mean? You'll look at the matches that we're getting. You know what I mean? Hangman Adam Page, holy, that was just amazing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because the kids could be watching.
Exactly. Kids could be watching, so I'm no swearing. I'm trying not to swear. Don't mention the Montreal Screwjob. That's when I will start swearing.
Yeah, I would too. Back in the day, there was either
the
you could either be a big fan of
start
Brett.
swearing now.
Yeah. Well, and you touched to my heart a little bit because my first pay-per-view, I actually physically got a chance to. I was at the age I could sit and watch because I'm hyperactive. I sit and watch pay-per-view. I got to sit and watch a full pay-per-view with SummerSlam '91. And Mr.
That was an amazing time.
That made me respect the grapple and catch as catch can style of wrestling even more. Because
I've loved them since I was 13, you know, and my heart got broken with that Montreal Screwjob. Our cable went down. It used to always happen when the big pay-per-views were happening, but this one meant a lot to me because obviously it was Shawn Michaels, I blooming hate that man to bits, and Bret Hart, and it was the last man standing match. And you know, I didn't find out the result until the next day. They had what they called a hotline that you could get to you know, sort of hear what had happened in the match. So I'm sitting on this phone, I'm listening to this recording, I hear that the match is over, and I'm like, yay, Brett's won. And then I hear but now he's got to come back. And at that point, obviously this was the time when he was thinking about signing for WCW. And I'm like, no. My dad came through and I was howling with the phone in my hand. And he's like, you okay? He lost his match. And my dad's like, it's only wrestling. No, did I say that to a wrestling fan? It's only wrestling. It's not. It's not only wrestling. It's a passion. It's a love. And I was heartbroken. I was absolutely heartbroken. And anytime anybody mentions that to me, honestly, I get so upset about it.
Yeah. Crazy.
Gut-wrenching. Absolutely bloody gut-wrenching. You know, a few of the guys will kind of tease me when I'm at shows, and I'm like, just don't. You know, I honestly, I am so gut-wrenched about that. But it was so weird because when I met Brett years later, you know, we were in Glasgow, he was doing a meet and greet, and I got the microphone and I just asked. I had to, because in myself I needed to know whether it was a work. And I says, if you had the chance to go back, would you have wrestled that night knowing the fact that you were going to be screwed over by Earl Hebner, Shawn Michaels and Triple H? And he kind of avoided the question slightly, you know, and I was like, because a 13-year-old me is not satisfied with that. You know, there's still that 13-year-old young Edith that can't believe that that's a work, you know. I've been working in wrestling for 8 years. I know how it works, but no, I can't accept that answer. You know, I need to know the truth. I need to know whether he knew. Because if that was me, if I knew I'm going out there and I'm getting screwed over, would I have gone out? Honestly, no, I wouldn't have gone out. I would have went, I can't do it. See you later, boys. Bye. Would that have disappointed fans? Probably. But at least I would have walked away the better person, knowing that, you know, I've not done the damage. Because even now, I still get quite upset about it. You know, I really do. You know, some people will joke about it, and I'm just like, no, walking out the next room. I'll see you later, talk about something else, and then they'll change the subject. But yeah, I still get bothered by that. Really bothered by that. So
you did mention Nick Khan and Tony Khan. I just wanted to say that they're not related.
Are they not related? I actually thought they were.
No, they're not related at all.
Really? Oh wow! I actually thought he was. I thought Tony Khan and Nick Khan were related.
No, two different people.
Oh gosh, rumor mill.
Rumor mill. Edith started it. I know. I generally thought they were father and son.
No.
Here we go, geek. Here we
well,
go.
There you go. I've learned something tonight on this podcast. Nick Khan and Tony Khan are not related. There you go. I genuinely thought they were.
New rumor started by dudes at ringside. It's going to be out there. The video's going to be out there. See me the ringside
So yeah, but hey ho, wrestling is weird, wonderful, wacky. It's all the above, and yeah, I just enjoy it. Enjoy it for what it is.
That is a good scheme, though. that is a good scheme that Nick Khan and Tony Khan in it together.
Interesting.
Look where we started now, all right? Yeah,
geez,
we're just talking about it. Yeah, well, Vince screwed Vince from what happened with everything happened today. Yep, that is true.
Yep.
That is definitely true, my dear. Definitely. You know, the only person that can blame for any downfall in the WWE is Vince himself. But again, you know, if you've got snakes working for you in a company, you know, that want better things, then yeah, they're going to tear it down from the inside.
Like,
it's
if
unfortunate.
snakes in the garden, you've got to watch your hands, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. You know, but
you're putting your hands in.
It is what it is. You know,
you like my drunk Uncle Joe terminology. There's snakes in the garden. You have to watch your hands. Dirt, you know, something's gonna bite you. You know what I mean?
Like, no, I don't want that. Thank you.
Yikes! My mom has a garden, so she always gives me these weird garden terms. When you put your hands in the dirt, you watch out what's underneath it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Garden terms. Geekins, anything else?
I mean, do you have any upcoming shows or social medias people can
Well,
find
funnily enough, I do. I have July 2nd, I'm working with W3L in the morning. We've got another show. I've got another show that same day with Scottish Wrestling Entertainment, and we have Tajiri on that show.
Wow.
The week after that, we have July 16th, and we've got Scotty Too Hotty.
Wow.
Then the week after that, I have July 23rd, Renegade Wrestling Dojo. I then have July 30th, my Queen of the Ring tournament at Scottish Wrestling Entertainment. I've also got, this weekend, I normally would have had wrestling, but I'm going to see Alanis Morissette this weekend. So, yay. Been waiting 2 years for that. So, I actually had to turn down a wrestling gig for that. And, you know, I was kind of gutted because I wanted to do the wrestling, but Alanis, you know, and, you know, catch up with my friends as well, and I thought, you know what, no, we're going to see Alanis because this had been booked for quite some time. So yeah, then I've got wrestling next weekend as well, so that'll be SW again. So I'm kind of all over the place. So Renegade Wrestling Dojo, W3L, Scottish Wrestling Entertainment. I've also got Pro 2 Wrestling as well. That's on the 26th of July, or 26th of June, beg your pardon. 26th of June, Pro 2 Wrestling. So yeah, I'm kind of all over the place at the moment.
Yeah, if you have the opportunity to rep a Tajiri match, try to see if you could work your way into it where Tajiri spits mist in your face or something.
Well, you know,
that's another spot.
It'd be well worth it just to say, oh well, I ref Tajiri and he spat in my face. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
But you never know what you're going to get, you know, and that's kind of what I like about wrestling as well, the spontaneity of it. You know, you could be working, you know, Ashley Vega one day, you could be doing Tajiri the next, you could be doing Scotty Too Hotty, you know, Drew McIntyre or Amelia Schmidt, Aisha Raymond. You just don't know who you're going to get, you know, and that's kind of what I love as well. I mean, I do it purely for the love of the wrestling, you know. At the end of the day, you know, this is why we do it, because we love it. You know, it's nice to get the fly-ins, but, you know, it's nice to build up the homegrown talent as well.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. So, do you have any social medias, or I think you said that.
So I've got Edith Summer on Facebook. I'm at Edith Summer at Robbins10 on Twitter, and those are the only two platforms that I really use. So either one you can get me on.
Okay.
You don't have a YouTube channel yet, right?
No YouTube channel yet. We'll get to that. We're building it. We're building it.
There we go. Baby steps. There we go. Right?
Baby steps. Exactly.
All right. I'm the Metal Geek.
I'm Joe Panther III.
And I'm Edith Summer.
And we will catch you in the next one.
Bye, guys.